the North End. This is the North End.
What is up, North Enders? Happy Friday and good morning from Doha. I'm back with another quick update here from where the World Cup is being hosted. And I'm actually leaving tomorrow, which is quite a sad moment because I have to say that so far the trip has been perfect. No real complaints. It's interesting. I'm in a couple of WhatsApp groups with other people who are here, people that don't know each other, and yet the sentiment is very much the same. So what's been up since I last spoke to you? Well, the last video I recorded was on Tuesday. This is now Friday. Tuesday, I originally had Senegal versus Ecuador tickets. Rolled the proverbial dice, so to speak, and gave them up by putting them on the resale platform. They were gone in 3 hours, but the end game was to try and get tickets for the England game, which unfortunately did not happen. So the only time I was able to get England tickets in my car and ready to pay for them, I hadn't yet sold the Ecuador versus Senegal tickets. So the very smart algorithm blocked that from happening, because there would have been absolutely no chance in getting from one end of Qatar to the other, of Doha I should say, to the other. So ended up watching the England versus Wales game and the USA versus Iran in the fan park. So very appreciative that we actually got to do that, because you know, having gone to games most days, haven't really had too much time. Oh, there's a fly on my face. Haven't really had too much time to do too much of that. This guy's just going to start bugging me now. Apologies in advance. It's going to be me versus fly. Anyway, yeah, the fan park experience was amazing. They had screens everywhere, as you can imagine. I would say thousands and thousands of people had gone there, a mix of locals and also some World Cup guests. But I think the coolest thing to me was the food stations. So they had these food stations set up, and it was foods from all over the world. It reminded me of Toronto actually, but you could pretty much get everything, and they divided it up by continents. So for the Canadians, they even had a bit of poutine here. Didn't get to try it, obviously. I was more looking for stuff that I couldn't eat back home. But yeah, very cool setup. The organization and the safety particularly has been top notch. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, we had France versus Tunisia tickets. So that was the early game, 6 p.m. here, which makes it the, I've lost track of time back home, the 10 a.m. game in Toronto. What can you say? France were dominated by the Tunisian fans. So French fans were dominated by the Tunisian fans. Me and my group all had Zidane jerseys on as a bit of a testament to the great man, and we were heavily outnumbered in most of the areas. And to be honest, Tunisia very much deserved that win, 1-0. It was amazing to see their fans going absolutely nuts, the passion, the fever, and yet it wasn't enough for them to qualify. So props to Australia. I'm a bit salty as a Canada fan that Australia made it through. I genuinely think we have a better team and better players than them, but you have to play a tournament the way it is. So congratulations to Australia. Anyone listening to us in Australia, I do congratulate you. But I don't think that you were the second best team in the group. I do think Tunisia deserved to go through, especially how they played against France, albeit quite a French B team. But you know, by the end, the big dogs were on. So like all the love and respect to Tunisia, but they were close, but not quite good enough. And then after that, we went into the city centre. So there's a place called Souk Waqif. You get off on the big train station called Mashrib. Imagine a Union Station, and then you're able to walk to different areas. And we very much went in. Oh, very Toronto-centric references there. I apologise. I do know we have people listening from beyond Toronto. But yeah, we ended up going into this outdoor movie theatre, I guess you would call it, where they were showing the games. And they, again, the organisation, and just let me change arms. The organisation was just very, very cool in the context that you know, we were able to watch both games and see everything unfold as it was. Argentina did look fantastic, I have to say, in that game. It looks like the real Argentina has arrived. but very, very cruel in the other game. I thought Poland, again, interesting. Poland, the worst team from the group, has gone through. So, you just got to play the tournament and got to play how it comes. But anyone who's watched me on the North End this year will know I'm not the biggest fan of defensive football. So props to Poland. They're through with Argentina, and I think the draw has opened up for Argentina a little bit as well. Now they've got Australia, and then potentially say they would play the winner of the Netherlands and the US in the quarterfinals as well. So I think it's shaping up pretty well for Argentina. But again, better teams than Argentina have ended up losing with an equal path. So shouldn't say anything too quickly. But riveting game, fascinating game. I was watching it with a bunch of Canadians, and the funny thing is we were checking the tiebreakers, because obviously at one point the tiebreaker was on yellow cards, and I'm not too sure that's ever happened in the World Cup before, and yet here we were with Mexico going out at this point on yellow cards. The following day, which would have been yesterday, so we had tickets again in the western part of the city, and yeah, it was a very interesting game between Croatia and Belgium. Much build between KDB and Luka Modric, two of the great midfielders of modern time, and yeah, I'd say the biggest deciding factor was one of the biggest myths in modern time, which is the very, very heavily cumulatively priced Romelu Lukaku missing 3 or 4 clear chances right in front of us. What I would say about that game is, once again, when it comes to like Latin American countries and the Arab African countries have brought all the atmosphere and fever. The European teams were just, and props to Canada as well. We were very loud, very little in terms of atmosphere, but this time the quality on the pitch was there. Wasn't the best Belgian performance, and Croatia are a bit of a spent force at this point as well, but the quality was there on the pitch. And then what was happening in the other game, obviously we saw Belgium crashed out the way they did, and Morocco, who even in Canada many people thought were going to be the easy game in this group, ended up winning the group outright. And another disappointing performance by Canada. Look, I don't want to get too critical, and I do think there was a lot of things off the pitch that sidetracked this Canada team a little bit. But we were a couple of years ahead of our development, so these players will be better off for it. And I know that there's other people on the channel doing Canadian analysis, so I won't get too much into it. And then today, as you can see, I'm wearing a Uruguay shirt. So we'll be seeing Uruguay versus Ghana, the big grudge match. And yes, it's going to be very interesting. Portugal are clearly favourites to win that group, so if Uruguay win, it's a knockout game for them already. They will pip Ghana to that next spot. I'm very excited to see how this goes. Obviously there's a lot of 2010 over the course of the week. We've seen a lot of build-up focus on that 2010 game and revenge. I think that's the worst thing Ghana can do, actually talk about that, because it's not even about the forwards, the Suarez, the Nunes and Cavani. Even in midfield, Bentancur and Valverde can take you apart. So hopefully Ghana, for them, have got their eyes on today's game, and that it's not too much of an emotional occasion. But of course, Luis Suarez, being the man that he is, had to stoke the occasion as he did, as he would. Very, very good pantomime villain, as he always is. And then the late game today is in the Brazil group, and again, lots to play for there as well. I'm going to sign off now. I'm looking at the clock. It's looking at about 9 minutes on this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Share with your friends. It's been an absolute honor and privilege, and I really mean that. It's been one of my the best memories I can remember being at this World Cup. I really don't want to leave tomorrow. I wish I had more vacation. I wish I had saved a bit more money and I could extend somehow. Wow, what can I say? It's been just flawless in every aspect of it, and I knew that people that were coming here would be the best versions of all the nations. But I haven't seen one disagreement, one fight, one piece of negativity. Security's been tight. It's just been a fantastic experience, one that I will remember forever. And I'm happy to do a bit more content when I'm back, and even maybe do a bit of a review of the trip again, even though I've done two mini reviews along the way. But thanks for watching, and yes, looking forward to more content from the boy soon. All the best. Bye.
This is the North End. This is the North End.